let people walk in these trenches. They see how crude they're made, and I try to convey the messages, how the soldiers live, the constant shelling, the fear of death, living below the surface.
Above ground, Bruce Tascona has been collecting artifacts for more than 50 years. He's used them to transform his yard into a replica First World War Army camp. For the last 4 summers, he's been giving tours.
12 soldiers that would have slept in there. Each soldier would have had 2 blankets. If something happens to you, you're going to be buried in that blanket.
There's the camp headquarters, where soldiers would get their daily shot of courage.
A shot of rum, and you had to drink it in front of the officer. Now you're all a trained soldier, and we're marching to the front, and we maintain language discipline. We keep quiet, because the Germans would hear the sounds.
The tour group stops for some basic bayonet training.
There's fixed bayonets. 1 step, you point, then you parry his out of the way, and when you parry that next step, you're hitting him with the butt.
More than 61,000 Canadians were killed during the First World War. 172,000 were wounded. Many had no idea how bloody and brutal the conflict would be.
You happy 9 soldiers, or 10, are coming to number 3 section, A platoon.
Their training complete, these recruits are off to the front line. A 2-meter deep trench, complete with barbed wire and sandbags. Tascona dug it 3 years ago to mark the centenary of the First World War.
This is just 1 line of trenches. Now there would have been 3-4 lines of trenches. This one here is a gas shell that was brought back from Flanders. And they would yell out, "Gas, gas, gas!" And you would all be woken from your slumber, and you'd rush out here, you'd put your gas mask on, you have your rifles, you're ready for whatever's coming your way.
Tascona describes the daily routine of the soldiers. Cleaning the latrines was crucial for preventing dysentery and cholera. Suddenly, the order comes in to storm the enemy trench.
Judy, you talked, you're down. Just imagine like 20,000 soldiers went out of the trenches, 5,000 would be falling in the attack.
This was brutality. I
Exactly.
mean, you were just sending them definitely to their deaths.
Yes.
The tour has made an impression.
I think it's really important for people to be able to come out and see and experience a tiny, tiny little bit of what it might have been like. Otherwise, we have no sense of our history.
Much of the world is at war all the time, and we are not. And so it gives us a vision of what took place.
Last stop on the tour, the Manitoba World War I Museum, housed in Tascona's basement.
This is where all the really good, neat things are.
It's one of only a handful of private, non-profit accredited museums in the province. So why does he do it?
The legacy of the veteran, I mean, they're all gone. So these are national battles that have great significance to Canadians. And I think it's very important that we still remember the legacy.
This trench is really similar to what you'd see about an hour and a half north of here at Camp Hughes. It's believed to be the only intact First World War trench in North America. More than 38,000 Canadian soldiers trained there, including many who fought at the Battle of Vimy Ridge. It's history Bruce Tascona hopes to keep alive for future generations. Karen Pauls, CBC News near La Riviere, Manitoba.